Hello, class. My name is Gage McGuire, and this is my oral presentation on how the media has covered gun violence. The media has covered several stories, obviously, about gun violence and had much influence on how it's been actually portrayed. The media also misrepresents a lot of their stories, and the stories as the story comes out, the events actually change throughout the entire process. The media has been connected to several mass shooters wanting fame by seeing how past shooters have had their face posted everywhere in which way they want it to be, negative or positive. Obviously negative, but they think that it's a positive sign. These future mass shooters, when they see the mass shooters at the time being presented. Also, ethnic and minorities are affected and never reviewed correctly, as well as the weapons are. So the media always just flat out portrays minorities as thugs and wannabe killers and this and that. Going on to Anson and Barnes, they did a study throughout, I don't know, just the nation, and did studies on actual examples of how mass shooting changes throughout the process. National news pieces were placed in the categories of gun violence, media frame and titles, held responsible, responses, and reporting of public health approach. People that were held responsible for gun violence were in 63% of the pieces before a mass shooting and 32% after the shooting. So basically, when the media came out and started this whole story because they heard or got whiff of what just happened, they start to put the pieces together by putting whoever's face that they seen, and they try to connect it to them right away. This also happens when lawmakers were being held responsible. They're held responsible in 30% of the pieces before the killings and 66%. So basically, it's not their fault in the beginning, and then afterwards, it's always their fault. We can see that every day. Background checks were also proposed as gun laws in 18% of the pieces and then 55%. So this also brings up the fact they don't ever cover mental illness as much as they should. It's always background checks for, not background checks, but just gun control in general. Going on to how the media portrays white males and ethnic minorities. They're being overlooked from national political discourse. The media tends to overlook minorities and focus only on murders done by white males. Gun-related crimes involving low-income-based people and minorities are framed by the media as convergence of culture, environmental, and individual shortcomings. And then also they use the white males are dead mostly by mental illness. So they use mental illness for white males, but they don't for black males. But the author also used an FBI research of in 2012, and 85% of the gun acts of mass shootings, school shootings, etc., were subjected to white males during the frame, even though there were more findings with minorities and having more school-associated homicides than white children during that 2012 year. But the media reported 85% more school shootings that were done by white males. So white kids shoot up a school and they get more credit than for killing. I shouldn't say credit, but they get more news directed towards them than they do black children because they feel black children are rated higher than white children. So their ratings won't skyrocket if a black kid shoots up a school than a white kid will shoot up a school, which it should all just be documented and actually videoed. Going on to Sylvia and Campella, they try to do a study to show the important implications for public knowledge and precipitation of mass shootings. They used research questions, yada yada, and identified new characteristics influencing the media. They found that that most common mass shooting public settings include people that are middle-aged, white, non-ideological, as well as events that had low victim rates occurring in the workplace areas and involving handguns. But in reality, when they looked at it, it was done with people that are younger, Middle Eastern, and ideological, and instances with higher victim rates in non-workplace settings. So basically, they used white males as the higher rating show for people, and I call it a show, it's not news, than actually Middle Eastern and other ethnic groups that have done more damage than the time being, but did not get a higher rating. So they do not produce more stories about what actually the rates are when we talk about mass shootings.